Where do you think Gary actually gets his shirts from, Bart? Like, is it an op shop job? Or do you reckon he, like, hires people to make them? Because they are, like, so bright that I don't know if I can handle it for real. Anyway, I think we're good to go. Hi, everyone. My name is Candice. You are stuck with me for this week. Hopefully Mitch will be back next week. I don't know. Depends on how good of a job I do. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so we are going to have a look at some letters. Of course, that is literally what we do on Sweet and Sour. For those who are new, the panel is going to be amazing and they do have strong opinions. We also want your opinions, so please feel free to email us. We'll give you those details later in the show. The letters that we have coming up today, a lady from Joondalup in Western Australia wants to know, should she be pursuing something a little bit more romantic with a person she has known for 10 years? Bridging the gap from friendship to relationship. Hey, we'll see what our panellists think about that one. Also from William in South Australia, he's been here for about 20 years, pretty happy with the way things are done down under, but he's not happy with the service employees. Have you had a bad experience? I'm certain that our panellists will have some opinions. We'll see whether there are other customs from other countries that perhaps we should be adopting. Finally, David Lionhelm, love him or hate him. Is he a misogynist or is he not? Does he deserve our ire or our defence and admiration? Probably you will have some opinions on that. I certainly do, and I know our panellists will as well. Let's hear him here on Sweet and Sour.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sweet and Sour Australia. My name is Candice Barnes. Yes, I am not Mitch. Very, very clear. But it is wonderful to have your company. It's wonderful to have the company of our wonderful panellists today. Let's jump right in and introduce them, beginning with lovely Alex. Welcome, lovely Alex.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. What have you been up to?
I'm still at uni doing uni stuff. Yep.
Cool.
And,
Nice. Good.
I did a painting and it's at St Mary's Cathedral now on display, which is really good.
What is the subject of the painting?
It was a Christian theme, and I called my painting Transcendence. So she's in the community centre part of the new St Mary's Cathedral. So yeah, we'll be there for 2 months,
Oh,
July
how
and
wonderful.
August. Yeah,
Well,
it was really good.
congrats. Very nice.
Thanks.
Welcome, Simon.
Hi, Candice.
What you been up to?
Working, being a dad, trying to come to the terms with the fact that I'm 40 plus, not the 28 years old that I feel in my head.
Golden prime of your life.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. So yeah, just hanging around Perth, being an interested observer.
Sounds wonderful. How old are your kids?
There's many of them.
You must have good DNA. Your DNA must be good.
There's 5 of them, and they range in age from 15 down to 3.5.
Oh, Dee, do you have a 15-year-old?
Yes.
Dude, you're doing good.
What a kid.
I wish I was doing as good as she is.
Yeah, no kidding.
No,
Your missus
seriously,
must be doing
straight
well.
A's on everything, state grade basketball,
Well, that's 'cause you've got
senior
a good
classical
brain.
guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a better brain than I have.
That's all right. We'll take it.
Yeah, oh,
Congrats,
absolutely.
Very nice. Adriano,
Yes.
how is ya?
Or Adrian for sure.
Adrian, most people call you Adrian.
Yeah, I moved over from Italy very
Yo,
recently.
Adrian.
Yeah, yo.
Yo.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sorry. Been funny lately?
I've been trying. Yeah, it's my job. I've been trying to be funny. So yeah, I've been doing stand up here and there, doing my videos and online
You getting
stuff.
some
so-
appearances on some other channels occasionally?
Yeah, I'm on Channel 9 with Beck
I was
here
trying
actually.
to be subtle.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. We got to plug. But yeah, no, it's been great. A lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well done. Welcome aboard, Beck.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Hello. How are the school holidays?
Good, they've finished. I managed to slip away with the family down to Bustleton for a few nights, which was just beautiful. The weather was amazing. So
I know, how good
our
is winter
southwest
here?
is just beautiful. It really is. I mean, and just from so many different things. The trees, the fauna, and it's just beautiful. And the kids playing, and it's just beautiful.
Tell me you had some wine.
Wine. Oh, yeah. Of course, I've got kids. Yeah, of course. Wine is kids' wine.
Yeah.
And of course, people should be checking out all of your efforts if you have kids in your
kids are
lives
buzz, so-
as
Yep,
well.
beautiful.
Look, let's jump straight into the first letter. It is from Genevieve of Joondalup, Western Australia, and she says, "Dear Sweet and Sour, I'm in a bit of a pickle. When it comes to guys, I'm a hopeless romantic and set all my friends up on dates and it works out. but now I've been single for a while and this single life sucks. Lately, I've been talking to my good friend of 10 years and I've had a crush on him for a while, say the last 3 years. But a couple of years ago, he got his heart pretty badly broken because she wasn't interested, and I picked up the pieces when it happened, and he moved away to New York and we kind of drifted apart. But this year has been a bit different. He's moved from New York back to Perth and we've been in touch every day and things have gotten really flirty. We are really close, but I've always felt like we could be more. He's been non-stop flirting and my feelings have really intensified, but in the back of my head, we have a 10-year friendship that could all be blown away because of my actions. He's asked me on a date and was really nice, simple date, but didn't end up with a kiss, maybe because I was too scared. Help panel, how do I go about this? Do I express my feelings or do I lay everything on the line and risk messing up a friendship? Beck, what do you say?
Oh, look, I think first of all, there's nothing wrong with being a hopeless romantic. I actually wish I was one, and I'm not. So I'd say go for it. I say, what have you got to lose? You've known each other for 10 years now. There's obviously something there. I think you're feeling a little bit nervous because of the unknown and you know each other too well. But look, you've already been out on a date, so there wasn't a kiss. Maybe he didn't know how to initiate it, you don't know how to initiate it, and it's just, go for it. You've got nothing to lose. You're single, he's single. You've both been single for a reason, and you've come back together and go for it.
Adrian,
you've just got nothing to lose.
Does the friend zone exist for guys?
Oh, sure. I think it exists for both genders, really.
Could it be happening in this case?
I think so. I also think there's not, like in the letter, it's like, oh, I need to do one or the other. I don't think it's necessarily that there needs to be an extreme answer. I mean, like, things have been going well. Looks like they're speeding up pretty rapidly at the moment. So it's like, play it comfortable. Like, just be natural, let it take its natural course. Because I think when you start forcing decisions and you're like, oh, I have to do this now, then you get those awkward little rejections that will lead to a broken friendship. So I think, play it cool, see how it goes, and I don't know. If not, your name's Genevieve, so you're not going to be single for long.
Oh,
I think it's a beautiful name. You're gonna pick up pretty soon. So that's it's a nice name. I like it.
Sentiment. Simon, so the guys just moved back from New York to Perth. Perth, a very different vibe to New York. Could that be an indicator that he might be looking to settle down?
Oh, look, I think definitely he's keen, Genevieve, and I think you're doubting yourself a little too much, and probably don't have enough confidence in your ability. I mean, you've had a great deal of success setting up other people, but now you think that if you kiss this guy, it's going to ruin a friendship. I mean, how bad do you think you are at kissing? Seriously though, I think go for it. He's flirting hard with you. He's back in Perth. I don't think it's a friend zone issue at all. I think you've both been keen on each other for years. You haven't been able to do anything about it because there's been third parties involved. Now's the time to let your hair down, Genevieve. You only live once.
Right on, Alex. What do you say?
I pretty much agree with everyone else on the panel here. If you two have been friends for so long, then what's the problem with talking to him about how you feel? I mean, you should be like soulmates now, and what you will get from this is a delayed gratification if it does eventuate. So I wouldn't be worried about it. I just go with yourself, be yourself, and then just let it happen naturally, because if you've been friends for that long, there shouldn't be a problem and it should just all gel together. So don't think too much about it, just go.
Awesome. Well, we don't just ask panellists what they have opinions about, we also ask our friends on social media, and we have asked you to answer this question: is it worth risking a great friendship to become romantically involved? And the results were overwhelming. 85% of you said yes, while 15% of you thought don't risk it.
Beautiful.
Well, that's it. Time's up for this segment. We will be right back straight after the break. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Thank you for staying with us through those couple of messages there. If you would like to write to us about something that you're passionate about, or maybe you have some opinions on some of the things you've seen, you can visit our website, www.sweetandsour.net.au. You can also join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Pretty much everything will be there somewhere. You can find us pretty easily. Very nice. And if you happen to write us a letter that we like particularly, you could be one of the ones to win some movie tickets. And this week we are giving away tickets to Brothers Nest, and that is thank you very, very kindly and graciously to our friend Natalie Cameron at NRC Communications. We appreciate your support as always. Moving on to the next letter from William of Prospect in South Australia. Hi, Sweet and Sour. I've lived in Australia for more than 20 years. I love it. And I thank everyone here for having me. But I have one complaint, and I am constantly reminded of it too often. We have such a poor service ethic here. I just can't get over it. Is this the only nation on the planet that believes the customer is never right? I hear the complaints of so many retailers that they keep losing market share to the internet, but it's so obvious to me that most people find sales and service staff in Australia totally detached and lacking real customer interest. So why wouldn't the customer return to the internet? Why don't we get it? Only yesterday, a sales assistant in a very indirect manner accused me of lying. It's a gross abuse of the customer. Having travelled recently to many places, lucky you, including among others the US, Turkey and Greece, they all shone in customer service. I get back to my adopted home and the first thing that happens is to be abused by a service assistant. What do we need to be doing as consumers to insist on better service now? And this time I'm going to start with Alex.
Wow. William, I can tell you my experience through this. I used to be a flight attendant with Ansett and they trained us the best way, always smiling and the customer matters. And so once you give a customer that acknowledgement, then they love you. And now I'm in the service industry again, just working somewhere, and I find that the customers love that as well. I like to engage with the customer and then talk to them. They feel like they're part of the scene. But there are the customers there that will treat salespeople or staff in a derogatory manner, and they expect to be treated like hand and foot, and that can be a little bit arrogant, and it causes problems because no one wants to be treated that way. And once you get treated that way by a customer, you don't want to be nice to them, you don't want to help them. So another thing is that I like Richard Branson's effect.
Yes, very good.
Happy staff, happy customer. So you look after your staff first and your staff look after your customers. So that's the problem we have in Australia that I find when we're working amongst in different areas. So yeah, I can understand what you mean, but it's not always what it seems.
Simon, your experiences in the shops and the cafes and such when you managed to get a bit of time to do that, how have you found
Look,
it?
my experience has been pretty good. I've found customer service to be relatively good. I anticipate that most of my fellow panellists are going to say, oh yeah, customer service could be better, da da da. I'm going to take a different tact. William, you've
Well,
stated here that you're accused of lying, but you haven't anywhere in your letter said that you didn't actually lie. So I put it to you, William, that you were lying, and that's why you got shitty treatment.
His name's not really William.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, and if I'm not, I apologise to the
direct
good
man.
people of Australia, all three of you who are watching.
Oh,
Pardon?
bless. We have at
No,
least
you're not allowed to
5.
say that. So, William, I would suggest if you stop lying to people, they may treat you better.
Start by using your real name, William. Start with that.
Do better, mate.
Adrian, now tell me, when you are making a purchase,
Yes.
what is at the forefront of your mind? Is it getting a good customer service experience, or is it cost, or is it customer service that is preventing you from shopping up a storm?
I would say no. It's not the customer service that prevents me. It depends on how much time I've got. If I'm in a rush, then it's like I just want to get in, grab my stuff and go. If I've got time to waste, then I'm like, yeah, I'll have a good chat. But I'm always generally pretty friendly anyway. I can't disagree more. I think, like, in my opinion, I've had no really bad customer service here in Australia. For me, it's been really good, so I'm actually going to take a similar stance.
Do you get what you give though? Like, if you are a good customer, do you think that you get good customer service?
I would say
back?
definitely, to a degree. It's still just one human interacting with another. If you're rude, they're going to be rude back. If it's passive aggressive or it's direct, whatever. But yeah, I noticed that Will use the examples of the US, where he got really good service. Keep in mind, they're getting tips.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're making money
Different
to be
kettle of
nice.
fish.
They're
Yes.
sucking up to you.
Exactly. You got to question the motives. And then you've also got the other example was Greece, whose economy is so bad, they're being nice just to pay
Please
for
give
dinner.
us money,
You know what I
please.
mean? Like, so it's very, you got to question the motives. But I think maybe this is South Australia. I don't know. Come to WA, we've got good service. How's that?
Beck, you've had an experience.
I have, and only just last week, and very, very quickly, I won 2 coffee vouchers. Went to this particular place and presented them, my husband and I, my kids, ordered 2 extra drinks, a breakfast, and was told in no uncertain terms by a very young staff member, no, sorry, we can only accept 1. And I said, well, there's nothing on here that says you can't present 2. She said, well, it's management. I said, well, hang on, I'm the customer. It doesn't say you go and take that up with your management after, you know, I'm presenting this in good faith, I've won them. I'm not just here asking for 2 free coffees.
No.
I'm actually paying another $30 for it. Anyway, she absolutely was so rude to me. I asked her name and she said, I'm not giving it to you. So she went off and another girl came out. I waited, I told my husband and kids, just go, because they're like, oh, Mum, cringy, please don't make a scene. I said, I won't make a scene.
I also think you're probably walking the fine line there of saliva in your coffee.
No. Well, they bought all the food out, hadn't paid.
Wow.
I hadn't paid yet.
Oh, you did a runner?
I said, I'm not paying.
Prime example.
I said, and that was it. You know, look, I think it's just, I think employers need to teach their staff a little bit more, and I hate to say, I think it might be a young thing as well. I just, you know, I just don't think there is.
I think
Hey,
that's the
we're
tack
not
that
gonna-
that couple that recently got done for doing runners from restaurants should
Yeah.
take it.
Well, that's
Oh no, we
exactly-
weren't doing a runner.
I'm not saying
We just
all,
weren't
I
happy
just
with the
think
service.
manners. We are really losing manners and pleases and thank yous, and I think
Right.
I think
Because it's all this now.
employees don't have their finger on the pulse. You know?
We asked you what your opinion is. Can you think of any countries in the Western world with poorer customer service than Australia? 92% of you said yes, 8% of you said no. We will be right back with David Lionhelm and what he's been up to.
If you haven't got a life, why don't you join us with ours right here at Sweet and Sour?
Welcome back. This next one is a doozy of a letter titled Sack Him from Vesna in Kensington, New South Wales. Dear panel, I don't see anyone coming to the defence of Senator David Lionhelm. He's a misogynist through and through. He dares to use our parliament and then the media to try and slut-shame a fellow senator in Sarah Hanson-Young. A misogynist makes himself one because of the vile stuff that continuously keeps coming out of his mouth, echoing what it is that's really in his head. This man claims he's not a misogynist. He's never, however, bothered to ever apologise for his words or continuously reinforcing his remarks. Ex-footballer Barry Hall was instantly dismissed from his media job because of similar misogynistic remarks, but this 1950s-minded, her words, wanker, doesn't get sacked. I don't get that. How do we get rid of David Lionhelm? How do we get rid of this grossly disrespectful and backwards behaviour from our parliament? That is from Vesna in Kensington, New South Wales. Very, very fiery issue indeed, starting with Simon this time.
It's a fiery issue, Vesna, and I wish I had some good news for you, but unfortunately I don't. In fact, I think you'll find that Mr. Lionhelm's electorate may well be full of wankers, like literally full to brimming with wankers. And those same wankers will be loving hearing the language that Mr. Lionhelm's using in the Senate. So I hate to break this to you, Vesna, but in my opinion, it's people like you writing letters like this and shows like us and the news giving airplay to someone like Lionhelm that's actually going to see him re-elected. I think we're all playing into his hands. In fact, I'm not even sure if he's as big a misogynist as he makes out. I think this is a strategic attempt to be re-elected through popular press, and that's why we're here.
Alex, you know, whether he's a misogynist or not, do you think that he's entitled to his opinion?
I think people are entitled to their own opinion as long as they don't delve down into insults. I get really sick of all this slagging everyone, you know, like, same with what happens on Facebook, you know. If you've got your post on Facebook and you express yourself, which I usually do, I'm quite controversial, I've been told, but it's my Facebook page. If I've got something to say, I'll say it. And what I don't agree is when other people come in and they start name-calling other people that have got an opinion. So
Like
when,
a wanker or a misogynist?
well, yeah, like that. But I mean, this is a wankers club anyway.
Just
Anyone in I think with politics and Parliament, it's full of wankers. There's nothing we can do about it. And I always say, whenever there's something going on about we need to change this, politicians, blah blah blah, I always say nothing's going to happen. It'll never change because it's politics, and it'll never change. So he'll probably stay in there till we get a female Prime Minister again. Possibly.
It was an overwhelming result when we asked everyone at home, should Senator David Lionhelm be sacked for trying to slut-shame Senator Sarah Hanson-Young? And 92% of you said that they think he should be sacked, while only 8% of you think that he should not be sacked. What do you think, Beck?
Oh, look, what a shame. It took just one foul-mouthed phrase, and this senator has just turned this debate into a sleazy political sideshow, really. You know, and it was without a shred of proof, actual proof, that Senator Hanson-Young even said this. You know, for him to, what he said, you know, she should stop shagging all men, it's just so derogatory and so wrong on so many levels. I just think we need to stop. We need.
Well, clearly wrong. She hasn't shagged me.
Yeah, that's
Not me
true.
either.
I mean,
No, so not all men.
Look, I'm just thinking there's no room for this now in this day and age. I mean, it just needs to stop. Men and women, we just all need to respect each other. It needs to stop. It's political, I know, and it always flies around in these political places. I mean, you know, look what happened to the footballer last week, or
Barry Hall.
Barry Hall. Instant dismissal like that. This is what should happen. It's not happening, and he refuses. He refuses to apologise.
He's an independent, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
So there's no one.
So
to
yeah, well
that.
that's true. There's no.
Yeah.
Adrian, is there enough respect in our parliament between fellow parliamentarians? And as people, do we have enough respect for our politicians?
I think we, at the moment, probably don't have much respect for our politicians, and it seems like they don't have respect for each other.
Or for us.
Or for us, yeah. It's just there's a big triangle of no respect, you know. But I think, like, I've looked into, you know, Senator Leyonhjelm a bit more. He does this a lot. Like, there's a lot of this sort of slandering, and he, as he would say, you know, he calls it like it is, something like that. He would just swear and say whatever he wants. Now, I think the remarks were rude and vile and shouldn't have been, you know, like, given the discussion, they were talking about, like, domestic violence, something of the sort. Really, like, shouldn't have done it. Should have definitely apologised, and he should have some sort of punishment. What I don't agree with is this idea that, oh, someone made a mistake, they said something wrong, fire them.
Right.
Like that, for me, I don't like this trend.
It's too black
that's-
and white.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, okay, he did something bad, yes, but let's not go for the most extreme punishment.
Okay.
I don't believe that this affects his ability to vote on issues and pass legislation. You know what I mean? Okay,
that
maybe,
makes sense.
but I think if he's still good at his job, let's say, if he was voted in because people thought he was good at his job, I don't think he should be sacked for this.
Remember, you can vote on these issues and more at our website, sweetandsour.net.au. Our winning letter today, we have pretty much unanimously decided that we reckon that Genevieve should take her lovely friend of 10 years to the movies to
Come
go
on,
and
Jen,
see
you can
Brothers
do it.
Nest.
Really? Are we going to go to that? 'Cause I've almost changed my mind just because of the amount of profanity.
I
that
think it's
Bez has
4
managed to
against
sneak
1.
into it.
Let's go, Genevieve.
Nah, Genevieve,
But can we just give a special mention to Vesna? You have actually stuck quite a bit of profanity into your letter, and I think that should be
she
applauded.
can win a small popcorn. There we go.
Hey, look, we've had a really good time today. Thank you very much, Beck. Good luck in your continued ventures.
Thank you very much.
On the gig circuit still, Adrian?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Hopefully they'll bring me back to host again sometime. You know, generally can't keep me away from this place. Simon, off on a trip again soon?
Not on a trip anywhere, but I will be interested in my own
5 years. Where
observations.
can he go?
No.
Yeah, nowhere for me to go. Yeah.
School and back. every day.
Daycare, kindy.
Where's the trips?
Yeah, every now and then drop them off to the parents. That's when you say
Nice
something.
and concise, good.
And Alex, of course, you're working on a very special piece at the moment, I
Oh,
understand.
yes, a little angel, little baby angel.
Tell us about that. This is
Her name's
quite
Caitlin. She was
special.
4 when she died. She jumped into a pool to save her friend who couldn't swim, and then she ended up drowning. So I'm painting a little paint. She'd be 24 this year.
Wow.
So I'm doing a special painting for her mother. Oils, yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
light from a really horrible event. On that note, thank you very much to everyone for joining us. Mitch, hopefully we'll be back next week. You'll know because there'll be like a bloke who looks very different to me in this chair. Thank you very much for joining. Good night, Australia.
Bye.
Good night.